Kinich, a saurian hunter who will skin these creatures alive as long as you pay the price, which is usually Mora or a baby sucker for Ajaw, which will hopefully shut his big annoying mouth. Kinich had a wonderful childhood. You can actually see that just from his face. Look at that face, look how happy he is. That's the face of a happy childhood. His father was always out gambling all of his money. If he won, he would bring gifts to his wife and son. If he lost, he would instead play a little game with them called domestic abuse. Just kidding, MiHoYo would never put something like that in their game. If he lost, he would instead just borrow some money to get himself drunk. And only then beat his wife, which compelled her to run away, never to be seen again. Wasn't Natlan inspired by Africa and South America? This just sounds like an average Eastern European dad. Trust me, I would know. On his 17th birthday, Kinich asked his father if he heard anything about his mother. The mere mention of a woman made the two neurons left in his brain form a connection, and he began sprinting towards Kinich like an angry incel after getting rejected by his waifu on character AI. But he forgot that having a beer belly doesn't come with athletic prowess, so he rolled down the cliff like a block of cheese, crashed into the ground and died. This should be a lesson for everyone that gambling is bad and you should never do it. Unless it's for hot anime characters, am I right?
Cold.
After his father's gambling addiction was cured by death, Kinich had to learn how to live by himself, which was not that difficult since he knew how to grow his own food and was very athletic. So he was able to run away from any kind of danger, like capybaras. Unfortunately, because of his hobo drip, he didn't quite fit in with the other kids in the tribe, who kept calling him a dirty monkey. Which is confusing considering Teyvat doesn't even have monkey. While he was there, Kinich heard stories of famous heroes who risked their own life for the greater good, and he thought that was really stupid. Why would anyone risk their own life for free? But he did recognize the importance of heroes, and how much money he could make by being one. So he began training tirelessly in order to become a hero. For the money. That's a big part of who he is. He never accepts or gives anything for free. There always has to be some kind of price involved. Now, you might be wondering, where the hell is the almighty Dragon Lord Kahul Ajaw in this story? Well, Ajaw was sealed away deep within a dungeon for unknown reasons. He's a relic from the ancient civilization that existed in Natlan thousands of years ago. So yeah, he's really old. Maybe that's why he's so cranky all the time. When Kinich found him, he understood how dangerous Ajaw can be in the wrong hands. So he decided to keep him under his control by forming a contract. Kinich can use a portion of Ajaw's power, and in exchange Ajaw will be able to take over Kinich's body after his death. This is how they became traveling companions who love and respect one another.
Pleasure doing business with you.
MiHoYo heard all the complaints about Paimon being annoying and decided to make someone even more annoying just to make Paimon look better in comparison. Did it work? No, I would exchange Paimon for Ajaw in a heartbeat, because at least he's actually funny.
My dear anemic flying ant.
He's such a piece of shit, constantly whining, nagging, insulting and boasting. That's why he's one of my favorite characters in the game. I just love insufferable assholes.
You scum-sucking swine! I swear, if you go bungee jumping, it'll be without a rope!
What makes Ajaw even better is that he's hanging around with Kinich, who has the personality of these rocks on Eastern Island. This contrast between their personalities makes their interactions really entertaining. It was such a great decision to add this pipsqueak full of hatred and energy next to Kinich and his emotionless face with the eyes of a dead fish. His face is so memeable. Just slap a caption on it and it will be hilarious. Doesn't matter what caption, any caption, whatever caption you want, just add a caption. As for Ajaw, I can only find one fitting caption for him. Kinich Ajaw. That's the name of a sun god in Mayan culture. So yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, his design is inspired by Mayan culture combined with arcade game aesthetics. Man, this looks like a trailer for an indie game. His design is so cool. Has to be one of my favorites in the game, but these video game aesthetics are so out of place in Genshin. It looks like something Honkai Star Rail would do, which is really funny considering Kinich does the video game aesthetics way better than Silverwolf, whose whole character revolves around her being a gamer, while Kinich is just some guy living in the woods. Now, why does he have these video game aesthetics? Is there an actual lore reason? Or someone at MiHoYo was feeling nostalgic about the 90s and thought everyone in the office to make these arcade game aesthetics happen? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the answer, but the real answer is most likely Ajaw. The ancient dragon civilization he comes from was technologically advanced, so they probably had some kind of computers or projection technology, which is what Ajaw is. His true form is sealed away in that bracelet. This PNG is just a low quality projection of him. So because Kinich has access to a portion of Ajaw's power, it does kind of explain why his abilities look straight out of an arcade game, and why Ajaw's personality is that of an average gamer.
You scum-sucking...
Anyway, as I said, his design is great. I love the bandana, first ever character to wear one. His messy hair is actually pretty cute and it has some nice details on it. His eyes are really pretty, although they do make him look like he's dead inside, which I guess is fitting. I'm a huge fan of his coat. I love how big it looks and how it dangles behind him. I wish we could see him wear it though. And his bulky shoes fit perfectly with his bottom heavy design. As for a house design, well, he looks easy to draw. In my opinion, he's the most fun character for exploration in the entire game. At least in Natlan, because outside of it he feels like a wet noodle in comparison. He's exactly like these silly chickens, but better. He can pretend to be Spider-Man, use a rocket launcher, and you can switch into him from other characters like Scaramouche or Xianyun, which feels so good. As for his combat, I'm a little conflicted. He grapples onto enemies with his skill and keeps circling around them while shooting, which is really cool and unique. They didn't just infuse his weapon with Dendro and called it a day. They actually did something different and I think they mostly pulled it off. It's very fun most of the time, but it's very clunky in tight spaces because he can't spin properly, so he just ends up having a seizure. Even in an open space he often gets stuck on things, but it's not that big of a deal because you don't have to keep circling around your enemies, you can just do this. Something less relevant but still a little annoying is his targeting.
Target acquired.
Please game, I just want to explore. What the f... Okay, enough with the complaining. They actually put so much effort into this character even where they didn't need to. They gave him a unique charge attack animation instead of just doing a copy-paste like every other Claymore character. Will you ever get to use it? Not really, but it's cool. Another unique thing is that he can attack mid-air for some reason. Not to mention how smooth his animations are. Lastly, let's not forget about his badass ultimate, where Ajaw actually looks a little threatening. Well, as threatening as he can be.